How does a small city teacher who's known for her flute playing decide one day she really ought to pursue Google training? A band director with a love for music and technology using Google Apps could feed her students curiosity. She took a course to learn the basics of the apps and saw how it could help her and her students on their paths to not just learning notes and songs, but other concepts too. An interdisciplinary approach to band in middle school. And as she learned more, she thought, Google is insane, man. So many features to use while I am teaching band. But wait a minute. Can't keep this learning to myself. My colleagues need to see how they can use it for themselves. My name is Michelle Heffner. I have been a music teacher in the Gardner Public School District in Massachusetts for 14 years. After taking a district-sponsored training and an online course about the features of Google, I became very excited about how using Google Apps for education could improve my own teaching and organization and my ability to collaborate more efficiently with my colleagues and students. Using Google in my classroom, I was able to offer my band students an interdisciplinary approach to learning music involving technology, and I also became excited to share what I had learned with my colleagues. For about 3 years, I have informally helped colleagues in my school with technology. This past school year, I coached several of my colleagues on using various apps within the G Suite for Education and was chosen by the administration to lead a district-wide professional development with a focus primarily on Google Education. Now that you know a little bit about me, I would like to show you one way in which I use one of Google's features in my classroom, and I've also introduced this idea to other teachers at my school. It's important to me that students are not just learning how to play a piece of music in middle school band, but are learning the background, history, purpose, and story behind why a piece of work was written. One of the big pieces my 7th grade band was preparing for competition was an arrangement of Percy Grainger's Lincolnshire Posy, which had been adapted from folk songs Grainger collected in his travels around England. To help my students understand why Grainger made certain musical decisions, we analyzed the poetry and the travels of the poem's main character using Tour Builder, which allows you to visually represent travels through pictures, videos, and written information. I left out the final destination of this tour so we could develop the page together on this screencast. This is the tour I started with my 7th grade band. I'm going to click edit so I can continue to add things to my presentation. Because the character is he begins and finishes his journey in Lincolnshire, I'm going to add that location to our map, Lincolnshire in the United Kingdom. Once I add this to the tour, I'm allowed to add other information as well. I can add photos and videos up to 25. I'm going to search Google for images to find one that I feel represents the story and the time period. Because this is also the end of the character's journey, I'm going to include the original folk song. So I'm going to search YouTube for The Lost Lady Found. If I scroll down, I can locate the video that I need, select, and it's added to my presentation. In this box, I can include information about the poem. In this case, I'm going to include lyrics from the actual poem itself. I'll copy and paste from the Google document that I had shared with my students. When I'm done editing, I'm clicking this button in the upper right-hand corner. And what I can do at this point, under what I call the 3 hot dogs, I can play this part of the presentation in full screen. I can see on the map where our character was. I can also view the images and videos that I've selected to go along with this portion of the presentation. I'm going to close this part of the window. If I ever feel like I need to go back and edit some more, I can click on the 3 hot dogs again. That will take me to my editing screen. Or I can go back to the start of my presentation. And if I'm doing a class with all my 7th graders, I can go through the presentation as a whole and discuss each portion of the character's travels. I feel that one of the greatest features of Google is the ability to easily collaborate and share your work. Following the completion of any of our projects using Google, I require the students to share their presentation with at least one other staff member and me. The students are able to share their great work and what they've learned, and we create a learning community where teachers get a snapshot of what's going on in other classrooms and get ideas of ways they can implement technology and Google into their own lessons. Thank you for viewing my Certified Google Trainer application video.